y'all don't know football. What's that fool doing? He has no chance.
Thank you, Mandan.
Fire away.
I knew we was going to beat them clowns.
Holy Toledo!
Football Feast.
He's got big balls.
Oh, well.
Oh, no!
Shall we begin?
It is the Friday football. Come on now. Good morning as we feast on a frigid Friday.
Feast.
Good morning, Chad Greenway, courtesy of Grey Duck Spirits. Alex Lewis, athletic.com, courtesy of Steve's Appliances and stevesappliances.com. Mad producer back on the scene, and I'm Paul Allen. Good morning, and welcome to the frigid feast. Walking to my car after the Minnesota Timberwolves game last night, and the wind chill was minus 40. We hit a minus 40 last night. Chad Greenway, may have asked you this before, but now it's more pertinent as nose hairs have finally thawed, and the jaw finally has thawed. How in the heck did you survive minus 25 wind chill that playoff game against Seattle? Seriously, and good morning.
And good morning. Sorry about the voice, and I apologize about that up front. So that's
you ain't feeling good?
Not feeling good. Had a bunch of speaking bits this week. Just been a grind. But
Common and Barrero might have to take the day off.
What are we doing here? What are we actually doing?
It's awful.
I'm just trying to think about it. But you say,
how
okay.
did you play in that game?
I told you it's warm skin.
Yeah, it's warm skin.
I would say it's worse to be a fan, not playing, not moving, not having the adrenaline, standing on concrete, watching even amongst your best friends out there.
Yep.
Probably
warm skin v foreskin.
Yes.
That's what that was.
That's exactly what I was going to say. But warm skin, you put this stuff on your arms, it's just kind
wild.
Of this little extra layer.
What about cayenne pepper?
Yeah, I heard that's the thing now. I didn't know the cayenne pepper bit. Put in your sock?
Did you not see that?
Yeah, no. The cayenne pepper in your sock.
The potential of trees exploding.
Is that real? Can we talk about that for a second? The trees exploding has hit everybody's feed this week, and I'm just trying to think we're all getting trolled. It has to be that way. It can't be a real thing.
I could see it being real.
Of course you could. That actually sounds exactly what you would think.
In my part of the western burbs, there was a city truck that was coming around the neighborhood yesterday, and they put this orange belt thing around a tree in my yard and a tree in the yard of the neighbor across the street. So, kind of what's going on here? Well, it's some kind of infected ash thing or whatever.
Ash borer.
The borers.
It's probably going to need to come down. I'm like, all right, well, who does that? You do. I do? What's that cost?
It's your tree.
10 to 15K? Nah. The neighborhood better start wearing masks because this tree ain't going nowhere for 15K. You kidding me, my brother?
I'll do it for $2,500. I'll get the chainsaw. I'll be there tomorrow. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, you've told me that before, but I've seen your work. You don't remove the stump.
Yes,
so you leave the stump there. And
you got to grind the stump.
Yeah, I will grind the stump. Been there, done that.
Alec
no idea what y'all are talking about.
Alec is from Alabama. And he was at the Wolves game last night. He walked into Target Center for the game, sans gloves. I'm like, are you crazy, man?
I took an Uber to Target Center. I didn't walk from the Northeast to Target Center.
But from the Northeast corner into the lobby for babies from Anniston, that could provide frostbite.
It was terror. I mean, living
So what
here.
happens if the car breaks down? You ever plan for that? You live up here. You have a plan in case the car breaks down.
I would walk right in the loon, and I would sit there and probably watch the game.
Now
on
you got to
TV.
get out. You got to fix your tire. I got a flat. It's negative
geez.
20. Got a
Yeah.
bunch of terrorism going on.
Yeah,
and
you
all
got
of
to
a
think about that. You're right.
I mean, you guys aren't wrong, but this is just I mean, I don't know how people choose to do this.
Yeah.
I have
Well, what
to.
do you mean? You chose.
No, I mean, I chose to cover the Vikings.
I
And
mean, this is a handful of days every half decade, Alec.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
this is
This is
perpetual.
fine.
Yeah.
This is
all right.
this is even bordering on cold for us. Kind of getting there. Now I love how cute they are in the South with this thing coming. It's just like it's been news all week. It's been the most marketed storm in history over a hurricane coming for 2 weeks. And all of a sudden, it's like because it affects somebody besides us, that happens to us literally 10 times a winter.
Yeah.
Like, are we not important enough to get some big news?
Can you look at Alec when you talk, since your temperature's 102 and you came in here sick and whatever to push Grey Duck?
I'm
With
hacking
spittle.
all over him. Hacking him all over him.
Holy. Oh, how about
he had
this?
speaking engagements.
I understand. How about this? So, this morning, all right, I'm set to leave for work about 6:45. All right. I got 2 cats. I got Jack and Gypsy. I have no cat food. No cat food in the house. So it's negative. So 6:45 in the morning, I run to the store. I encounter a Vikings fan outside the store in the minus 40. It's minus 18. It's minus 40 with the wind chill, and my man asked me a Jimmy Garoppolo question.
No way.
I mean, I'm like,
So you just give me your cell phone number, say call me on the way home.
I'm like,
Probably did.
nice quarterback, fine young man, very high cheekbones. I had to say, appreciate you, my man, and walk away before he hit me with a follow-up on Marcus Mariota.
2 more.
I mean, minus 40, and he hits me with a Jimmy Garoppolo question. I think
That's absurd.
My mouth was freezing shut when I was like, nice before I could get cheekbones out. It's like my jaw froze. And Chad, you have requisite capital to move anywhere you want, to move away from this. Why do you stay?
That's a great question that I ask myself almost
what we do.
every day. And,
Doesn't it make paradise better though with that island you bought down? I mean, you own one of the Galapagos Islands,
Yeah,
I
I
believe.
do.
So when you go down to that island, Minnesota makes that paradise even a bit sweeter.
yeah, the one right next to Epstein. Never mind. Different
Honey.
islands. Okay. I would say my children. It's all my children. They got into school. They like it here. They have friends. They have the whole deal. They're in high school now. I got 2 of them in high school trying to go do their thing. And I'm kind of trapped. I have a 3-year window. In 3 years, I have one getting out of high school and nobody else in high school.
Well, Lord knows
an 8th grader. I'm trying to get out that year.
They
That's
don't
the
have
year.
high school sports in Nashville, so I can completely understand.
No. Florida, Nashville, they have no sports anywhere else. But 3 years. I'm having a 3-year plan to get out of here.
Really?
So say your goodbyes, guys.
Oh, that's truthful?
That's my goal.
Oh, geez.
Because I'll have the second one out of high school.
Well, now you're hurting feelings.
The third one, I can call
Look at Alec
in.
when you
they
talk,
have
please.
cell phones. I will
Thank you.
call in every Friday football feast. I'll probably fly in a couple of times, sell some Grey Duck, and move along. Get out to the B-Dubs in Oakdale, one of my favorite spots.
If you relocated, where would it be?
Love the middle part of the country because I have to have 4 seasons. I can't do the Arizona, the Texas, the Florida bit where it's just warm year round. I'm too miserable for that. I need something.
Alabama?
I need some change. I could do Northern Alabama probably.
Now, what's Alabama weather like
Kentucky,
this time of the year?
North Carolina, Tennessee.
You could get all the seasons on the north side of like New Mexico and Arizona.
That sounds
Yeah,
great.
that's not a bad idea actually.
Get some land, a
Fantastic.
little wildlife
You want
preserve.
to segue from Grey Duck to a meth lab?
Yeah,
You go to Utah with Charge.
Utah was in, now Charge is there, so that's out.
I think he hates it. He's just not telling
I
anybody.
think so too.
Go buy 5,000
I
acres.
don't think he hates it. I think he and
Or
Roxy
preserve.
really
You can host people to do some elk hunts and various things. I don't know, man.
Apparently I'm married though, and there's two opinions. Yeah.
Oh well. And
If you and I, Nordo, were married somehow, that would be
all right, well,
a great plan.
No offense to you, but I like the current situation.
Okay, let's get serious. Looks like Flores is back on a new deal with the Minnesota Vikings.
No, it doesn't look like he is.
Well, what if he gets?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, Mentor. Yes, yeah, Jesse Mentor.
Well, Baltimore's out. Pittsburgh.
Excuse me.
still in.
Thank you. Yeah, Pittsburgh's still in.
Yeah.
So it's not a 100%er there.
Don's
Snot-nosed
grandkid.
kid.
Wow.
It's quite close.
He came in over the top with
Is
that
it
one.
Don's grandkid?
Don
Chris
who?
Shula?
Yes.
Oh, Chris Shula.
Chris Shula.
Okay, 3-2. So that's a little distraction-related warmth during these chilly days. So how important is it to the team that it looks like he will be returning? Just truly, I mean, we've talked a lot about it.
Yeah.
The defense, saving the show at certain times last year. Everybody's catching strays this week. Flores, Kevin Stefanski from Baker, Charlie Biatch caught one out of nowhere. They're just all, I mean, but just how truly important is this?
I think it's big. I mean, for stability of the organization, you look at it from top down. You look at the questions we have with the roster, with the drafting situation last
Please
few
look
years.
at Alec
GM.
when you talk.
When you.
No, right. No, seriously, I don't want to be sick this weekend.
Well, I'm sorry. You invited me.
Right. But you have, hey, I've worked with you for a decade and a half.
Are you in?
You have no problem declining. Okay, that's never a problem.
Let me turn my chair. Hold on a second.
Thank
okay,
you.
now we're better.
Yeah,
Get Alex sick this week.
I think he works with his fingers, man.
I think stability within the organization is huge. You lose this guy when potentially losing your second guy who you would hire for the defensive coordinator job. It's just a lot of change, a lot of upheaval in a situation of an offseason where we have a really good roster and have a chance to be really good next year. Sans a couple positions we have a lot of question marks on. A chance to reach, GM to come through another draft cycle, try to hit some dubs here. I think it's important to keep him. The momentum we had to finish the season was huge. You got to build off of that. You have your personnel for the most part in place, at least the direction of your personnel and where you want to go defensively. Otherwise, you got to bring in maybe another disciple who wants to take a different direction. You want to kind of put your own spin on it because you can't just come and say, we're going to do what he did. Mm-hmm. You're going to do what you want to do. Mm-hmm. And that might look different from a personnel standpoint. And we all know we have host to fill there, but I think just helps us check one of those big boxes and say, okay, we have our guy.
Yeah, I'd say among the conversations this offseason, it was, can you keep Brian Flores and what's going to happen at quarterback? I mean, is that important on the laundry list of things this team has to do? The question I'd pose to you is how many defensive minds in the NFL would you take over Brian Flores? And the answer to that question cements the importance of being able to keep him here from a defensive coordinator standpoint. The players obviously are tailored to what he likes to do. He adapts in game. He knows personnel. Kevin O'Connell knows how he operates. That's an important facet. So just for them to get it done, obviously we'll see how Pittsburgh plays out. But my expectation with Pittsburgh is they're going to wait to see the Rams either win all the way through and then interview Chris Shula and probably hire Chris Shula. And at that point, it'll be more cemented. But it's just massive for them to get it done. And I expect he got paid a lot of money.
What does a D coordinator get paid these days? Because I'm just thinking about dusting up that playbook and I got a couple of playbooks sitting in my office.
What do I look like? Spotrac?
I saw a report. Vic Fangio was making, I think, like $4.5 million.
Whoa! That's the high end.
That would be
all right, boys. I will be back next year. I got to go find this DC job somewhere. I got to get back in the game. You kidding me?
Better get your voice back before you get that defensive coordinator.
Honey, I'll get some honey on it.
How are you going to yell at players with a voice like that?
It'll come back around.
What kind of a coach would you be? What kind of a defensive coordinator would you be?
Why does everyone...
Right, you would just run the Tampa 2, get ripped on social media in the last 2 years.
Bend but don't break. Just get wins.
Yeah.
Go draft yourself a Jared Allen and a Kevin Williams. It'll be fine.
Oh, yeah.
Everything will work out just fine. I would definitely go towards the Zimmer route. I liked playing that system a lot more, that scheme a lot more. I loved making the offense play on their heels.
But you got to have good man corners, right?
You can't get your corners at 7-Eleven. You can't do that. You got to get your guy. They got to be dudes.
Alec doesn't get that. It was a Zimmer stray against the cover 2 defense many years ago. Somebody pushed him on what type of corner to play a certain defense. I can get cover 2 corners at a 7-Eleven.
The best.
He said
the
that?
best. Oh, absolutely.
Oh, and before that, when Chad was with the Vikings with Brad Childress, he got tired of people peppering him about Dante Culpepper rehabbing some injury in Florida. So Brad was like, I don't know, he's outside of some strip mall next to some Chinese restaurant. I haven't talked to him in a week. That was phenomenal.
I just think it's a more fun style to play. I mean, how kind of coach would I be? I have no idea.
Right.
I mean, I think you're just kind of this idea of the Dan Campbell, old school mentality and approach with a little bit less meathead. That's probably what I'd be.
Mm-hmm.
It's coaching. The thing about coaching is, I mean, those guys who are, whether you're position coach or what have you, I mean, that job is for a special breed of person who wants to work at a level that is, I don't know how that's sustainable.
Unnecessary, by the way.
Former Vikings corner Terrence Newman. He was he DB's coach, or he took a job with Zimmer.
Yep.
And I mean, it's like, in the office at 4:30, 5:30, you're out at 7:30, 9:30. Terrence was in one year and out the next.
Is it for show, though, like being there that much?
It all depends on your head coach. If your head coach is there, you're there.
Yeah.
You never leave before the head coach goes. So if you spend a bunch of time and extra effort in, you're going to be there doing the same thing. Just look at the same stuff over and over, rehashing the game plan, overthinking in a lot of cases what you're trying to do. And I think, but you also have to think you're looking ahead 2 games.
Sure.
You're preparing what's coming because you don't have enough time in that moment to put a game plan together. I think you have to, and here's one of the main reasons beyond having 4 kids I wanted to raise and be there all the time and not be bouncing around was I didn't love the X's and O's enough at that point to want to be involved and stay involved at that level because I knew the time commitment and what I was going to give up was not worth it.
Yeah.
And that's when the rubber met the road for me. I was like, okay. Even like having some opportunity to go call games.
Yeah.
Go out to LA and, interview with Fox and CBS to call some games. It sounds fun. Except when you travel every weekend, you're gone 3 days.
Yeah.
And you got 4 babies at home. I'm like, I'm not doing that one.
During the pandemic, so it was the 2020 season where they had the aggressive bioreference truck, van, trailer, whatever, right outside the player's entrance. And like I didn't have to get swabbed as much as team employees, but nevertheless during the season I had to get there 2 times. Monday after a Sunday game, make sure everybody was hunky-dory, then Friday into a weekend. So when I would roll up there, like the thing started at 6:30, maybe 7, and I got 9 to noon. So I would get there early, and Thielen always was in his car, just like sitting in the players' lot. But, so I'd roll up to him if the weather was good and say, what's up? And a couple of times he would have the Surface, the tablet, like sitting in his car waiting to go into the aggressive bioreference thing with the functioning swabaholics. And so therefore he was always watching film. So like, I'd asked him a question or two and then he would like show me something and the level of excitement that he would come up with, and let's magnify it with coaches. Let's just amplify it with coaches where he finds something with a corner who has a little L to him, who just keeps repeatedly making the wrong turn or doing something wrong with the hips. And he's full speed guy, top of the route, full speed, shake the shoulders. I mean, it's one of the great route runners in the history of the team. And just the level of excitement because, either a coach put him on it to look at it and figure out how we're going to do it, or he found it and, he's like, hey, I know you know this, but can we consider this? So when you say the X's and O's and stuff, man, I mean, from a coaching standpoint, whether it's quality control people providing them stuff early in the week and, hey, we got this and we got this and we got this. But like when you're super smart like O'Connell with his middle zone attack when you can throw in the middle of the field, okay, 3-2. It's when you find things that you can consistently expose and you're ruthless and cold-blooded like some of them. I mean, that just has to be a highlight of the job, right?
Highlight of the job. You found something. You were able to be patient in your play calling and hit it at the right time to get that 3rd and 8 when you had to have it because you had that baby put away on Tuesday when you watch film. But then also, to Zimmer was the did not hide his emotions well when he got beat. When somebody got him.
Oh, really?
Because
but his players were in the right spot, so he got.
Yep, got. Like just hey, didn't have you prepared for that look. They got us on that one. Yep. And what I loved about that as a player is within our locker room, he owns that to us. So I'm like, okay, like as a player, you want to do right by everything you do. You want to make no mistakes. Blah 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 blah. When the coach does that too, like it just means more because he's like, I'm in this with you in the trenches. And I think when you do that, it hurts them more to get got than it is to go get somebody else.
It's interesting.
Yeah, just because they get out game plan, they get beat.
That's in the same fishbowl as the losses always feel worse than the wins feel good.
Always.
I think the other thing, especially this time,
I'm gonna find you a gotcha in here, by the way.
This time of year, the thing I've thought about when I watch all this coaching movement, the position coaches and who these for me, it's as much about, okay, we're hiring this guy to be our head coach. What kind of staff can he build beneath him? And what relationships does he have? And how far is he willing to go to hire those people? Because I think
it's the coaching tree and the budget he's going to be given to at the end of the day.
I think that's a part of it. But good position coaches, I mean, the more I've covered the league, the more I feel like it is so critical to hire the right people in those jobs who have those direct touch points.
And nepotism is very real in the NFL in hiring circles.
Like friends.
Because what you
bit.
Hey, we came up together. If I get a job, I got you. If you get a job, you got me. Let's climb this ladder together. 100%.
Let me see if I found a gotcha with Zimmer as coach.
3rd and goal from the 2. Elliott behind Dalton.
Hold on. Cowboys 2020, November of 2020.
3rd and goal from the 2. Elliott behind Dalton. CeeDee Lamb in motion to the left, now back to the right. Play action for Dalton. Pass is caught, man wide open. Touchdown, Dallas. It is Dalton Schultz with the old gotcha play. There was nobody near him, and Dallas has taken a 30-28 lead.
Yeah, that was a gotcha right there. Dalton Schultz in 2020.
Remember Hayden Hurst in the Falcons game?
Oh,
that's hilarious.
Nordo, right when the audio played.
Yeah, was that Nordo? Was that? I thought it was
maybe it was Pete.
I thought it was Pete.
That was no, I knew exactly what he's playing. The Hayden Hurst bit, Raheem Morris takes over, I think, for Dan Quinn in 2020.
Yeah.
Teams 0-4 and 0-5. It's friends and family affair at U.S. Bank Stadium because of the Rona.
Right.
And he gets us with this. Hayden Hurst goes here. The entire Vikings defense goes the other way.
4th and 1 from the 35. Ryan from under center. Passes left. Uncovered. Hayden Hurst. 20-15-10. Touchdown. Atlanta Falcons. A 35-yard touchdown.
Awesome.
Ryan to Hayden Hurst on 4th and 1. Matt looked right. All of Minnesota went that way. Hurst, sole alone on the other side of the field. And that's ridiculous.
My guess is we were in man.
Gotcha.
My guess is we were in man coverage, and the guy just took his eyes off his man on the pass fake or some action away from him and just gonzo.
2 touchdowns
been there.
for Julio.
Been there.
The tone with Hayden Hurst. Hayden Hurst.
Yeah, Hayden Hurst. I know, it's crazy.
2015.
No, but you're right. You talking about like the nepotism with the position coaches. I mean, there is some of these coaches who get jobs are just hiring people who they like and they've had drinks with at the combine, and then there are other coaches who can build real staffs of talented younger coaches, and there is a big discrepancy, in my opinion, of what it looks like when you're that second path and you hire really good people to do those jobs.
Yeah, this window, right? You get hired. Say
Look
you
at
get
Alec when you talk, please.
Say you hire Shula in next week or when they get beat out or whatever happens. You have no time. Everybody else has a job. So now your pool of hiring candidates is very, very small.
Yeah.
You're a younger coach with not as big of a, yes, he's an NFL name. He's been in the league forever. He's known these guys, but who do you owe a favor to? That's your first call. Not like, who's the best coach? Like, hey, he gave me this opportunity. He said, if you get a job and I'm on the street, please call me.
Well, if I'm an owner of the team and I know that, then I'm like, really? That's how it works?
But
they all know it.
It's crazy. And that's why, like, this last couple weeks for me in just talking to people has really crystallized how much that is the process.
Yeah.
And you talk to certain people and they're like, yeah, no one talks about it, but that's kind of how it goes.
And to go a step further is how much different schematically, the answer is not that much, is he going to be compared to somebody else you could hire? Yes, you have different scheme, maybe different front. It's about the players. It's about the coach's ability to motivate and want those players to play for him. And in a league where you have everybody playing for multi-millions of dollars, where do you find the motivation to set the ego aside, play for each other, and this common goal? That's where leadership comes in. That's where a guy like keeping like B-Flow matters. When they, we've heard.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, we've heard different stories about players' opinion of him. They want to be here. They want to play for him. They're excited to play for him. They have an opportunity to make a bunch of plays and have a bunch of stats and get money. They like that.
But wasn't last year with what you're saying? I mean, wasn't just it a polarizing, perfect example? I mean, it's up to you. I've said this 10 times, but they mostly knew they weren't going to the postseason with 3 major holidays in front of them, and that's never good for business. Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's Day. Yet, despite who they were facing the rest of the way, and there's some pretty good quarterback-related stock in that mix, the defense played like it was playing to get the 1 seed in the NFC, and that inherently comes back to leadership from not only the players playing, as you know, but the man leading it and calling the shots.
And I think, back to my opinion of the head coach, of hiring head coaches, is not hiring a coordinator who has to be the coordinator.
Huh?
You're the leader of the team. You're not the leader of the defense. You're not the leader of the offense. You hire a CEO to manage the team, to get everybody to do their jobs. Everything comes back to you as a head coach, but hiring the right coordinators who you trust to take care of that side of the ball. I've been offensive coordinator for 20 years. Can I give up the play calling duties? Those guys have a hard time because that's how they got the job.
Of course.
So I understand that. But I can tell you, through my 11 years, the amount of bad position coaches I either had on our team.
That's why I went there.
Without naming names, or
Right.
and sometimes in my room.
I mean, 2026 is the year of the stray.
It's just the
Whether
year.
it's
It's called the
anonymous
year.
or
It's
not.
the year of the truth.
It's the year of the stray.
Let's get the truth out there.
I mean, that stray Stefanski caught from Baker was completely uncalled
That
for.
was uncalled for.
All right, currently
Below the
trying to
belt.
find a list of Chad Greenway's linebacker coaches.
Oh, no,
it won't be hard to find.
Yeah, he ain't going after Fred Puckett. I can tell you that right
that's
now.
my guy now. Come on
All right,
now.
this is the Friday Football Feast. That's Chad Greenway. He's Alec Lewis, Nordo over there, mad producer, and I'm Paul Allen. The What's on Deck, 9 to noon, is courtesy of TimberTech and TimberTech.com. And what is on deck includes about 15 minutes from now, as Barrero would say, a big knocker, heavy hitter in the National Football League covering world, Mike Sando from The Athletic, about 9:45. Johnny Athletic joins at 10:03. Yours truly and Alec Lewis were at the Wolves game last night, and it looked like the Wolves were going to win. Then they slipped on the proverbial banana peel and took the L. Johnny Athletic about 10 o'clock. Of course, we have a New England in Denver and the Rams in Seattle and Kaprizov walking off on the Motor City Red Wings and so much more for the Friday Football Feast at FM 100.3 KFAN. Speaking of leadership, Brett Favre was a bona fide leader. Brett Favre has a podcast. Who knew? And when it comes to the defining play of the 2009 NFC title game, he had something polarizing to say. And we will share that with you around the corner. But first, here comes the con with the cash.
Yeah, fan wants to give you a chance to put $1,000 in your hand or, well, let's just say acquire some bonus bucks with the National Cash Contest. This hour's keyword is dollar. You might win some dollars if you enter the keyword dollar. Just go to KFAN.com right now and throw that thing in there.
You app.
We all had that one teacher who believed in us. You can show your gratitude with Thank a Teacher, powered by Donors Choose. Nominate a public school teacher to win $5,000 for their classroom. This week's winner, Alexis Hallman, a special education teacher at Woodland Elementary School. Nominate Thank a Teacher today. Nominate a teacher to thank at iHeartRadio.com/teacher.
I played a lot of games in my career. I want to say from a hostility standpoint, a physicality standpoint, it was by far the toughest game I've ever played in based on those two components. It was loud. It was chaotic. It's hard to be settled down and relaxed. I don't think I ever got to that point.
I told Percy, that's Brett Favre, former Vikings quarterback. I told Percy, hands on, what was it, pants on the ground?
Pants on the ground.
Pants on the ground. I told Percy, Brett Favre has a podcast, as Nordo pointed out to yours truly.
Who doesn't?
Last evening. Brett Favre has one now. And in 2009, the Minnesota Vikings played in the NFC Championship game against the Notland Saints. Chad's team, Chad Greenway, was on that team, also involved in a very controversial one of, I'd say, maybe 5 to 7 super controversial plays in the game. Lieber also was involved in one in overtime with that tight end, Dave Thomas. But here's Chad Greenway, very late in the game. Pierre Thomas goes leaping over the crowd. I think it was fourth down to try to get a first down.
Fourth and short.
Greenway meets him at a top. I mean, they're both in the air.
And Greenway stopped him.
And Greenway smacked him, and I think the ball came out. And then there was like, I don't know if there was replay or whatever, but it took forever. And then Saints keep the ball, and it was super negative.
And a first down. Should have been respotted.
Yeah.
First down Vikings. Away we go.
We needed a virtual measurement
Game's over.
there.
Yes. And that was part of a very history. It's, like if people ask me, like, what's your favorite game that you've called or been to, or like favorite call or whatever, they think it's going to be like Minneapolis Miracle, which was memorable. Greg Lewis, Game 3 that season. Yeah. And I think I'm speaking for you too here. That was a professional experience, whether you're playing, calling, watching, or whatever. The fans never sat down. It's the consistently loudest I've ever heard. It never stopped with those aggressive umbrellas they had and the voodoo dolls and everything, and they were just all nasty. It's like,
were they rocking vuvuzelas back then? If you remember, no, that was World Cup 2010 in South Africa when those became popular. But you saw those bouncing around American.
It was an incredibly memorable day. Sadly for Vikings fans or those who played in the game, on the negative side, but the single biggest play from that game was when Brett Favre went rolling out to the right. He threw across his body, and Tracy Porter picked him off. And the Vikings were one made field goal by Ryan Longwell, who was nails from getting to the Super Bowl. The mission was Miami in January, February. Holy cow. And Tracy Porter then, of course, ran down the field. He got tackled by John Sullivan. And then he looks at the Vikings bench and he mimics the Jared Allen calf rope bit. Why? Because early in the game, when the Vikings scored the first touchdown of the game, Sidney Rice mimicked the Darren Sharper shake. And they never forgot. It was one of those games. But with what Brett did, it was a talker for quite some time about whether he should have thrown it to Bernard Berrien, should he have just run or whatever. And here's what Brett Favre on his podcast had to say about that moment.
I'm more concerned about what I didn't do. I wish I would have ran on that last play. I don't know if I could have. But
is he crying?
After the fact.
No.
I certainly trusted my legs and my escapability, even at the end of my career. Maybe not as much at the end of my career as early in my career, but I definitely didn't feel confident I could do anything running. But as I look back, I wish I would have certainly done that first or given that a try.
Pete Bursich, analyst for the Vikings Radio Network, is an elite football mind. Here's at the end of the call, Pete Bursich said in 2009 what Brett Favre just said in 2026. Take a listen.
Brett Favre goes back to pass. He pumps. Now he fires over the middle. Intercepted. I can't believe what I'm seeing right now. It was intercepted by Tracy Porter, near side to the 40, and John Sullivan runs him down at the 47-yard line. You've got to be kidding me. I can't believe what I just saw.
Looking at that play, he should have just held on to it, Paul. He could have easily gotten 5 or 6 yards if he would have just pulled that thing down and dove forward.
But why do you even ponder passing? I mean, you can take a knee and try a 56-yard field goal. This is not Detroit, man. This is the Super Bowl.
The analyst saw that so clearly
in the moment,
and that was the game that led to the Sean Payton suspension and subsequently the vitriol from this market and everything, and the high lows with Bobby McRae and Aiken Adele or the other Adele. And Bursich said, you should have just run, man. And now in 2026, Favre finally lets everybody rest and says, I should have run on that.
A couple things there. That is not an entertaining podcast. Does he have a co-host?
Can you imagine?
He had a guy asking him questions.
We got to fire that thing up.
Can you imagine if
background music or something? Something going.
I think it's the Parkinson's.
Oh,
I mean, he is not. He did not look like he was comfortable communicating much at all.
Yeah.
But can you imagine if he and Chris Carter did a podcast together?
Oh my!
The way they both pause.
Yeah.
And then they start talking.
You play ads in between the pauses.
Yeah. So far,
the best thing you said there in that
good idea.
The best thing you said in that call was that John Sullivan ran down Tracy Porter.
Yeah,
that's actually pretty impressive.
I was thinking
my guy John
he was
Sullivan,
an O-lineman, right?
Center.
I was thinking, how is that possible?
When he ran down as a cheeseburger, man, he didn't ran nobody down. He must have fell.
What's going on with the Gray Duck?
Oh man, it is what it is. I mean, we're all going to be inside today.
It is what it is. What a great advertising slogan.
Yeah,
it is what it is outside.
Yeah.
We're going to be inside. probably hanging out with some friends, maybe enjoying the weekend.
Yeah.
You can't do anything outdoors. If you do, you're going to want to warm that soul up. Get yourself a little hot toddy, throw some Grey Duck in there. If you're indoors with friends, staying out of the cold, pour yourself a nice little crisp.
I'm going to have a Bloody Mary tomorrow with
Grey Duck.
Yeah.
Of course you are.
Yeah.
You know what? Have two. Clean, crisp flavor.
It is what it is.
That voice, man, it is what it is.
I should sing today. I should lay some tracks down later.
Oh, yeah, you got that deep Barry White voice.
Come on now.
All right, man. Well, from a country music standpoint, which I know is your favorite genre, like who has like a big, deep voice? Tim McGraw?
No, absolutely not.
Well, geez, I'm sorry.
Jamie Johnson.
I'm sorry, I'm not an elite, nitty-gritty dirt band mind.
I'm a Chris Stapleton guy.
Chris Stapleton's very deep.
Yes, Tennessee
very
whiskey.
good.
You need Tennessee whiskey with Grey Duck. I mean, that sounds good enough to
Still the best national anthem I've ever listened to.
He's
at the Super Bowl. Chris Stapleton. Was that 2 years ago?
I believe so.
Why don't you go ahead and fire up the YouTube machine, go back to the Big Sombrero, Raymond James Stadium, and listen to Whitney Houston.
I've heard
25 years ago.
Also, I was just, I did not see this live, but Rams Bears, they had Corneliuson.
Yeah.
That was
the guy.
It's elite.
We had him in Chicago
Blackhawks
before.
guy, right?
That's Blackhawks guy.
Yeah.
It is.
Oh, that's right.
It is the most powerful, explosive national anthem. Literally, we had him into like the most ridiculous. What is that? What's the under the radar plane that our military had? I can't say the word. Everybody knows what it is. Stealth bomber.
Oh yeah,
sure.
Came out of the Chicago clouds after he sang that national anthem. Ooh. And just hovered over the top and flew off.
Well, that
was electric.
We have to go. But one of my favorite social media bits from that Corneliuson anthem.
1-2.
Somebody outside of the stadium, like 5 blocks away, videotaping it, and you can hear it.
Elite.
And it's just so booming. All right, you're the best. Get well.
You bet. Thanks.
Mike Sando on the NFL from The Athletic is next. And the neighborhood is FM 100.3 KFAN. Good morning. It's the Friday Football Feast. Also the Friday Forechecking Feast. Kirill Kaprizov walked off in overtime on Detroit last night. That was sweet. The Minnesota Timberwolves were not able to close out the pesky Chicago Bulls. That was not sweet. And Mr. Medved's team takes on the undefeated Nebraska Cornhuskers tomorrow, led by Freddie Hoiberg. He's the coach of the Huskers. Fred was nice enough to join 9 to noon yesterday. And if you missed that, it is podcastable at KFAN.com. It was the second segment of the radio show yesterday, and we happen to think you would enjoy it because Fred was complimentary of the Golden Gophers basketball program and the direction in which it is going. And also shared some insight as to what goes into winning in Lincoln, Nebraska, with the transfer portal and NIL and things like that. So there are 2 undefeated teams in the country. I know one of them is Nebraska. I don't know who the other one is. Is it Alabama? Is it Miami of Ohio? It's there are 2 undefeated. You're supposed to know that. You're an elite college sports mind.
I don't know. College basketball has faded in my purview
until
frankly.
Maybe the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, SEC tournament and NCAA tournament. I mean, I follow Texas A&M because I know the coach, but yeah.
Oh, Texas A&M basketball.
Yeah.
Oh, your friend is the basketball coach, not the football coach.
No, basketball.
Oh, Bucky what?
Bucky McMillan.
Holy cow! Let's rip off the best 7-minute interview we've had in the history of 9 to noon, and It is Mike Sando, very well respected in NFL circles. Learn more about him and follow him if you're so inclined via X at Sando NFL. It's his 28th season covering the National Football League, and he's a writer for The Athletic. Mike, it's Paul Allen here with your cohort, Alec Lewis. Thank you very much for helping. Let's start here. What'd you think about the way the Bills handled the Sean McDermott dismissal? And good morning.
Yeah, glad to be here. Sorry for the short show today for me. I do have a couple things going on, but I wouldn't miss this. I would say that it's super easy to pan it and just make fun of everybody, but I totally get the owner being in the locker room and seeing a devastated team and just realizing that, like, I don't know, Sean McDermott's 8-8 in the playoffs, and it feels like 9 of those 8 losses were the most excruciating losses in league history, you know? And just deciding to want to change it. Now, promoting Brandon Beane and all of that, I think there was a lot of things handled clumsily, but this isn't really, to me, whether Sean McDermott deserves to be fired. I feel like they felt like they needed to go in a new direction emotionally, and I get that.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to speak for other people, but you're an elite football mom. Do you think Harbaugh and/or Stefanski wish they had waited just a bit longer to take a run at Josh Allen's team?
I would say not necessarily. I mean, maybe Stefanski. I don't think so for Harbaugh. Like, to me, Harbaugh probably had a great connection with the Giants and wanted to go there. That would be my guess. And as far as Stefanski, Buffalo's its own place. It's a little bit different. So, I don't know that it's for everyone, but from a football standpoint, you would think, I would think at least Stefanski would love to be considered for it. I do think, though, you tend to accept the jobs that get offered. It doesn't mean that Buffalo would have offered him.
Right.
Mike, thanks for hopping on. Appreciate it as always. Good to talk. I'm curious, just because you've covered and observed so many of these, is there anything or what about this coaching cycle has intrigued you the most, just observing it? Yeah.
So usually there's 7 openings a year. We got 10 because 3 that were not necessarily, the typical types of openings came open. The super long-term ones did. So that's interesting to me. And then the second part is, look at these teams that don't know what they're doing. They're hiring, they got Tom Brady, Troy Aikman, and Matt Ryan. That's who they're leaning on. Great guys, great quarterbacks. I'd love to have them be my quarterback.
Yeah.
And really listening to them for some sort of advice, hey, no problem. But, like, I think Steve Bisciotti, who is a good owner, was like, Lamar Jackson's got a voice. You don't have any power.
Yeah.
And I think when you're when you really don't know what you're doing, you hand it over to Matt Ryan, to me. And so that is weird. Doesn't mean the other teams know what they're doing way better, but that's just weird to me. Why would you do that?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it has been very interesting, and it seems like it's becoming more and more common. This is Viking specific, and I know, I mean, you follow it closely from afar because of our conversations, but I mean, what is your perspective on how the quarterback situation played out this past year? And I guess tangentially related, what do you think about the quarterback situation here moving forward?
I think they were all in on J.J. McCarthy, but didn't feel totally great about it for obvious reasons. And that showed in the way that they handled it. And I think for next season, to me, it would be hard to just, put all of my money on J.J. to be the guy that leads us there. That's just from a health standpoint and from a playing standpoint. Even though it's obviously too early to say he's bad, but I mean, we wish there was more evidence he was going to be really good. So I think they're in a little bit of a similar situation as going into last year, maybe a little bit of different types of concerns and also different types of options. I think they had different options last year that maybe they were closer to getting. Like, if they had done Daniel Jones, if they just said, hey, you know what, we'll go to 18 million. I don't know if he would have done it, but maybe he'd be there and he would have played half the year, and they'd be re-signing him and saying, and you'd have a way to do it. I think now you're in a little bit of a difficult situation.
National NFL writer for The Athletic and TheAthletic.com. Mike Sando is with 9 to noon. Time for 2 more. Mine will be How is Sam in that oblique? And who do you like in the Rams-Seahawks game, Mike?
Yeah. Well, I think the oblique, is fine for a short period of games where they can shoot it up and that sort of a thing. So I don't think that's going to be an excuse or a reason if he has a bad game. And I really think him having a bad game is, there's a decent chance that happens, and that's the way the Rams can win the game. But I do think Seattle is the more rested, more complete team that is playing at a higher level and is dominating some of these games. Now, I don't know if they're going to do that against the Rams, but I think they have the potential in the second half to pull away, unless they have a ton of turnovers, which is always a little bit of a wild card with them. They've been a higher turnover team, and Darnold, I think, has maybe 6 of his 14 turnovers are against them. Seattle and the Rams have basically had an even point score in 2 games, and it's been a 7-to-1 turnover ratio in favor of the Rams. So
wow.
My feeling is that'll even out a little bit, and the Seahawks will probably win a little bit more comfortably.
Mike, obviously you do quarterback tiers, which is one of the, if not the premier offseason story, I think probably within the league. I'd be curious just what you've thought about Drake May in his second year and what people in the league that you've spoken to have thought about the leap that he's made and just what it represents or like why it's been so successful in this second season.
So I would say coming into this year, as much as it was generally positive on Drake May, it was really just the absence of negativity. I don't think people were just all in, but I think people admired what he did last year, thought it was really tough circumstances, thought he would benefit from Josh McDaniels, but did not think that he would be, in the MVP candidate race. Now, part of the reason he was is because Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson didn't have quite necessarily the types of seasons. So there's a component to that, but I think that he's probably well on his way to being, solidly in that second tier. And we've seen some guys like that, make that type of a jump. I think he seems like the type of guy who may, not have a big regression either. Some of the things about his comfort in the pocket and decision-making seem to be better than they were. So I think he's taken to the detailed coaching that you're going to get from a Josh McDaniels, and not everybody does. But I think it's a great situation. The mesh between coaching and him seems to be perfect.
Mike, enjoy the games this weekend, and we appreciate the time, truncated as it was, and let's stay in touch, okay?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Appreciate you. Mike Sando, athletic.com. Thank you for setting that up, Mr. Alec Lewis. To the NBA with Johnny Athletic around the corner. Yours truly and Alec Lewis were in attendance at the Timberwolves game last night, and we will see what kind of audio report Johnny Athletic files with the loss to the Chicago Bulls, plus much more. You're listening to 9 to Noon.